Monza, one of the most iconic racing circuits in the world, and one of the most popular circuits on the Formula 1 calendar. Monza is also Grand Prix home to Ferrari, who has some of the most passionate fans. The 3.6-mile circuit has made for some very exciting races over the years, with one of the most notable being Niki Lauda's triumphant return after his near-fatal accident in 1976. At the German Grand Prix at the Nurburgring Nordschleife, Lauda was involved in a horrific wreck which caused major burns to his face. Despite that, he made a remarkable comeback 6 weeks later and finished 4th at the Italian Grand Prix, to the roar of Ferrari fans everywhere. Niki eventually lost the championship by a heartbreaking single point to his rival, McLaren driver James Hunt. But Niki Lauda became two-time world champion the following year, capping off a remarkable comeback story. Now we're here at one of the oldest Formula 1 circuits in the world in the Assetto Corsa racing simulation, and we have brought along two hybrids. Now 10 years ago that would have been automotive heresy, but trust me, this is not your granny's Prius. Okay, I'm here behind the wheel of the LaFerrari hybrid supercar. This is powered by the same 6.3-liter V12 engine as the Enzo Ferrari, but it's been tuned up to about 790 horsepower, and that is being supplemented by a 160 horsepower electric engine, which gives it a power of 950 brake horsepower. This is one of the most powerful Ferraris ever made to be on the road. The car is mated to a 7-speed flappy paddle transmission, which will rocket the car up to a speed in excess of 350 kilometers per hour. This also boasts a 0 to 100 kilometer an hour speed of under 3 seconds, and getting up to 200 kilometers per hour in under 7. The LaFerrari also features an aerodynamic assist system, which is similar to the DRS function on Formula 1 cars. It will retract when you are at speed to give you less downforce, but when you are on the brakes, the flap will raise up to provide more downforce on the rear wheels. Now, only 499 models of this car were built, with each one retailing about $1.5 million. So, odds are a normal person might not really see this often on the road, but we get to enjoy throwing around a ton of tracks in Assetto Corsa. Now, Ferrari's hybrid is not the only car we're going to be testing today. We also have the McLaren P1. We are going to try to get the Porsche 918 hybrid, but we couldn't because reasons. So let us take the McLaren P1 for a spin. Okay, so the McLaren P1 is quite similar to the LaFerrari in some ways, yet at the same time it is a quite different beast. While the LaFerrari had a naturally aspirated V12 engine mated to the electric motor, the McLaren P1 has a twin-turbo 3.8-liter V8 engine. The petrol engine generates 727 horsepower when it's at 2.4 bar of pressure, and then the electric engine can produce 176 horsepower, giving the car's combined output of 903 horsepower. While that is less horsepower than the LaFerrari, the McLaren P1 does generate more torque. The P1 is seen as the spiritual successor to the widely popular McLaren F1, which was the fastest road car in the 1990s. However, the P1 will not best that top speed because it is electronically limited to 217 miles per hour. However, this is clearly a faster car than the F1, judging by its acceleration. It will go from 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds, and then it will reach 0 to 120 in less than 7 seconds, and 0 to 180 miles per hour in 16.5 seconds, which is 5.5 seconds faster than its predecessor. Now the $1 million question, or in this case $1.5 million question, is how does the McLaren P1 stack up to the LaFerrari? So let's take both these cars on a lap around the Monza circuit to see which one is faster. Okay, for both these cars, I put them on the Hypercar road tire, but they use the Hypercar Trofeo as default. Coming down the front straightaway, the McLaren P1 is a little bit faster than the LaFerrari, but the LaFerrari beat it into cornering in this first bus stop. However, I felt the LaFerrari's braking was a little skittish despite the 2 active aero assists as opposed to the McLaren's 1 active wing assist. And then seeing the LaFerrari ahead, but the McLaren is starting to catch up due to the active DRS, which is actually triggered by the driver as opposed to the LaFerrari having everything automated. The P1 also has a KERS system, which is manual by the driver, while the LaFerrari has it automated by the car and the throttle. But as you see, the LaFerrari is losing ground quickly to the McLaren, especially with the McLaren having better torque due to the more powerful electric motor. And then coming to the Ascari turns, the McLaren is going to overtake the LaFerrari as they are heading down the back straightaway towards Parabolica. In Parabolica, the McLaren P1 I felt had better braking, and it was more stable coming out of the corner. I never truly felt comfortable with the LaFerrari in corners, but the time was only separated by a 1/10.5. So, wrapping things up, you are likely going to have the question, which car would I like better? The simple answer to that is these two cars have distinct driving styles that will appeal to different drivers. If you are looking for more of a point-and-shoot, easy handling car, the McLaren P1 is a blast to drive. However, if you're looking for a car that's more active, that's more skittish, and you're wanting more of a personality behind the engine, go with the LaFerrari. In reality, there's no wrong answer. Both of these cars are amazing to drive, and you'll have a blast either way. So that'll just about wrap up our comparison between the McLaren P1 and the LaFerrari. So which out of the two hybrid supercars do you prefer? Let us know in the comments below. And if you are wanting to see more quality videos like this, check out our channel and subscribe. Check out our website at www.simracingpaddock.com so you can stay in the know on the latest going on in sim racing. For the Sim Racing Paddock, I'm William Marsh, and you have a great rest of your day.